You want the truth? Fine. Here it is. The day you stop caring about them is the day you take your life back. Not just the pieces they shattered, but the parts you didn't even know you'd lost. Because people like them, they don't destroy you all at once. No. They do it slowly, deliberately, piece by goddamn piece. They make you doubt yourself. They twist your mind, poison your heart, and before you even realize it, they've turned you into a version of yourself you don't even recognize, and the worst part? You let them. Why? Because you cared. Because you thought they mattered. Because you thought if you just gave more time, more love, more of yourself, they'd finally see your worth. But they never did they? They never planned to. They never cared. All they did was take, and take, and take. But there's a moment, a breaking point, a fire that lights inside you. And when that fire ignites, when you finally stop giving a damn about their lies, their games, their empty promises, that's the moment you become untouchable. You think walking away is weakness? No, it's power. The kind of power they can't understand. They think they've got you on your knees begging for their approval, their validation. But when you stand up, when you look them in the eye and say, "You don't own me, not anymore," that's when the game ends. And trust me, they'll feel it. Oh, they'll feel it. Because people like them, they can't survive without control, without your attention, without your pain. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop giving them the satisfaction of seeing you break, that's the moment they lose. But don't think for a second they'll go quietly. No. They'll claw, they'll cry, they'll beg. They'll make you feel like you're the monster for leaving. They'll twist the story, make you the villain in their pathetic little narrative. Because the one thing they fear more than anything else? It's not your anger, it's your absence. And you know what you give them instead? Nothing. Not a word. Not a glance. Not a goddamn ounce of your energy. Because they don't deserve it. They don't deserve you. Walking away isn't about revenge, it's not about proving a point. It's about freedom. It's about finally putting yourself first. It's about standing in the rubble they left behind and realizing you don't need them to rebuild. So let them stay in their pit of lies and manipulation. Let them rot in the cage they built for themselves. You walk out. You leave the ashes of who you were behind. You stop looking back, because here's the truth, they never mattered. Not really. The only power they ever had over you was the power you gave them. And now, that's gone. So let the silence speak for you. Let it echo louder than any scream. Let your indifference cut deeper than any word. You're done. You're free. And that is the victory they'll never recover from. You want to know when you start winning? It's not when you fight back, it's not when you scream or argue or try to prove a point. No, that's just another game, and they love it when you play. Every time you engage, every time you let them pull you into their chaos, you hand them power, and they feed on it. The real moment, the moment when you finally start winning, it's the day you stop caring, not pretending, not plastering on some fake smile to hide the hurt. I mean truly, completely stop caring. When you wake up one morning and their words don't sting anymore. Their silence doesn't hurt. Their lies don't make your stomach churn. That's the day the scales tip. That's the day you realize they've lost, and they don't even know it yet. They build their power on your emotions, on your kindness. They smile to your face while they sharpen their daggers, and like a fool, you keep coming back. You think, if I just love them enough, if I just try hard enough, they'll change. But they won't. They never do. People like that, they only take. They take your trust, your energy, your sanity, until there's nothing left of you but a hollow shell. But here's the thing. Even a hollow shell can crack. And when it does, when the light finally breaks through, that's when you stop asking why. Why they hurt you, why they lied, why they never cared. Because the answers don't matter. They never did. You see, they think they've got you on a leash. They think you'll keep crawling back, begging for scraps of their affection. But when you finally cut that leash, When you finally look them in the eye and see them for what they are, empty, pathetic, unworthy, that's the moment they lose all control over you. It's not easy. It's never easy. Walking away feels like tearing out a piece of yourself, because you loved them, you believed in them, you built your life around the idea that they were something they never were. And when you leave, you're not just leaving them. You're leaving behind the version of yourself that thought they were worth it. But here's the truth. They were never worth it. Not the sleepless nights, not the tears, not the endless fights where you tried to explain yourself to someone who didn't even care enough to listen. And when you finally see that, when the fog lifts and the world comes into focus, you realize something. They don't deserve your anger. They don't deserve your hate. Hell, they don't even deserve your regret. Because all of that, it still ties you to them. It still gives them power. And the one thing they fear more than anything else, it's not your rage, it's not your revenge, it's your indifference. You walk away, not for them, but for you. You walk away because you finally learned the truth. They don't matter. They never did. All the energy you poured into them, it was wasted on someone who didn't deserve it. But you deserve better. You want to know when everything changes? When the power shifts? It's not when you yell, it's not when you fight, it's not when you try to explain yourself to people who don't care. No, the real moment, the one that turns everything around, is the day you stop giving a damn about them. People like them, they live for control. They thrive on the attention you give them, even when it's anger, even when it's pain. Every argument, every tear, every second you waste trying to get them to see you, to understand you, that's their fuel. They feed on it. They need it. And they'll bleed you dry if you let them. But here's the thing. They're nothing without you. Nothing. The only reason they have any power is because you gave it to them. Because you cared. Because you tried. And let me tell you, it's not your kindness that's the problem. It's not your loyalty or your love. The problem is they don't deserve it. They never did. You want to win? Then stop playing their game, stop chasing them, stop explaining yourself, stop hoping for some apology that will never come. The minute you stop caring, they lose everything. Their control, their power, their grip on you. Because the truth is, they can't hurt you if you don't let them. And don't think for a second they won't notice. Oh, they'll notice. When you stop reacting, when you stop answering their calls, their messages, their bait, that's when the panic sets in. They'll beg. They'll plead. They'll twist every knife they have left, trying to drag you back into their chaos. Because without you, they're nothing. But you don't give them an inch. Not a word, not a glance, not a moment of your time. They don't deserve it. You owe them nothing. Not your anger, not your hate, not even your regret. You walk away, not because it's easy, not because you've forgotten the pain, but because you finally realize the truth. They aren't worth it. Walking away isn't weakness. It's the ultimate strength. It's looking at them, at everything they've done, and saying, you don't own me anymore. It's taking back your power, your life, your soul. And that's what terrifies them most. They'll try to make you feel guilty. They'll call you selfish, cruel, ungrateful. Let them. Their words mean nothing. Their opinions mean nothing. Because they're still trapped in the same toxic cycle, spinning their wheels in the mud, while you're walking away, free, unstoppable. And here's the best part. The silence you leave behind, it'll haunt them. It'll echo louder than any fight, any argument, any scream. Because they'll finally realize they can't touch you anymore. They can't manipulate you, control you, use you. You win by letting go. By choosing yourself over their games. By refusing to waste another second of your life on people who never deserved you in the first place.